Well, mailbag time. Bunch of stuff here. This one should definitely be interesting. And if you know where this one came from, because I can't figure it out, can you just put it down below in the comments so I know? Wrong answers only, of course. And as always, there'll be links down below for things I can give you links for. Right, it's a USB-C switch. I think I went overboard. I've already got a couple of these and I seem to have got another one. I don't know why I buy so many of these things when I get carried away. I don't get carried away. I'm not defensive. So it's just this plain inline switch. It's supposed to be rated for 2 amps at 250 volts, 3 amps at 125 volts, but that doesn't really apply to this. Maybe call it a 3 amp switch, maybe it'd be enough. But I got this for the Raspberry Pi, so when I'm using the thing as a server and I shut the server down, I have to unplug the cable and flick the switch off, and that's it, it's off, it's powered down. I don't actually power on things if I don't need to. So that's that, and I did show some other ones before. Ones I had before also had like an LED on it. Check out the previous mailbag for that. I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably a couple of weeks ago. I honestly don't remember. I've done so many things recently. It's all just turning into a big blur. Also, I want to thank all my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. They make it possible for me to buy things from Mailbag. They help to supplement my income a little bit so I can actually spend the money getting these things. This is even better. This is actually kind of a review unit. Leo Bodnar sent this to me. I actually contacted him because I saw IMSide guy. He had a pulse generator, a new one. I've got the original one. Hold on, let me find it. So this is my original one, which I purchased a while ago. And you may have seen me use this when I'm doing oscilloscope reviews. BNC connector on there, apply power, and it puts out an extremely fast pulse. 40 picosecond rise time. That's what it's stated at. Now this was actually slightly faster, this one. It's actually what I've used to doing oscilloscope reviews, as I said. And I've had this one for a little while now, and it works great. But the appearance isn't great for in a video, right? You look at this, it looks a bit homemade. I mean, functionally it's brilliant, but it looks a bit homemade. So, yeah, Bodnar have changed the design, and I'm sorry I had one. And I emailed Leo Bodnar and I said, hey, basically what happened is I found a typo on their webpage. So I told him about the typo on their webpage and commented that I would actually, wouldn't want one of these newer versions. I saw it featured, and so they said they'll send me one. So this I didn't pay for. Leo Bodnar sent this to me at no cost, so thank you very much. And so go and check these out, leobodnar.com. Go there, I'll chuck links down below as well for this, and say this is a much nicer design than the original one which I just showed you. Let's get it out. Look at that. Doesn't that look so much nicer? And it's also 30 picoseconds. So not only have they improved the design to make it more visually appealing, they've also increased the rise time. And it's adjustable. So you can use software through the USB port, and you can adjust what frequency it's generating as well. That's brilliant. And that is a huge improvement over the old one. Highly recommend you get one of these things if you do oscilloscope checking, or if you want to check rise times on things. And especially as it's adjustable, you can calibrate the peak-to-peak levels and stuff as well. It's all calibratable. You can do that in software. So, excellent. So it also comes with a Worth. There's an SMA to BNC adapter, which means you can put it in straight into front of the scope, and a USB-C and a USB-C cable. So it's nice to supply that. I mean, a lot of people have got USB-C cables anyway, so it's nice to actually include it just to make sure you definitely got one which works. Not all USB-C cables are actually data cables. Sometimes they're only power cables. So having a proper cable means, if they supply the cable, they know it definitely works, right? Hey, look at that. It's got a RFID in there. Look at that. RFID built onto it. Cool. Yeah, I'll show you that. Look at that little chip in there. And that's all the antenna system. And there's the chip. Digital zoom. Here's the chip. Clever, isn't it? So here's my Siglent scope here. It's a 2104X Plus. It kind of. And I'm getting about 661 picoseconds rise time with a 50 ohm loading on it. So another single, like 619, 650, 661, 603, varying slightly, but that's that 10 to 90% rise time So that's what I'm getting off this scope at 603 picoseconds. It's, you know, roundabouts. Nothing too exciting. We just have some feet. These are for MacBook Airs. Got 4 of those, 2 sets, and I've got another one here. MacBook Air. Yep, another set. This one's got a screwdriver as well, and some spare case screws because I've been repairing some recently. I mean, there's a MacBook sitting right there, right now, waiting for me to fix the backlight on it. I'm obsessed with putting stuff in bags, aren't I? So these ones are for Retinas. They're different. Yeah, Retinas. Exactly the same thing, just feet, but these are for Retinas. They've got a slightly different footprint on the bottom there. I don't know why they've got a different one. They could be the bloody same, but you know, they're just a bit different. So this one's the Air, and this one's the Retina. Air on the right, Retina on the left. You can see the centre piece is different. Yeah. I don't know why they make them different, but they do. Right, first box. Very well packaged. That's Defpom approved. It's even vacuum sealed. Taking it really seriously. Not to use real knife for this. Woohoo! Relays. And all upside down. Oh no, I lost one now. Whole bunch of Fujitsu relays. 5 volts, these are reed relays. Now these are using Sencore equipment. There's a bunch of these things on eBay, new old stock. Grabbing them while I can. So 648D05/1AS. That will mean something. There's a data sheet for these things. Look it up if you really want to know more. But this is using the Sencore equipment. There's another relay I'm trying to get, but they're really expensive shipping. The shipping is ridiculous. The shipping is twice the price of the relays. When I buy 2 sets, the shipping price also doubles, which is kind of annoying. It's a MacBook keyboard. So if I remember rightly, this is for the Retina. Yeah, that's a Retina keyboard. Got 2 of them. They may or may not be aftermarket, I don't remember. Also comes with a backlight membrane as well. Should be 2 of those as well. Backlight membranes are really useful to have. In here, so you've got a screwdriver and screws. A bunch of little screws in here as well with the driver for them. Yes, that is how many screws hold the keyboard in. Now the problem with these Retinas is that the keyboards are riveted in. So if you want to replace the keyboard on a Retina, it isn't as simple as popping it out and popping a new one in, or unscrewing one and screwing one in, like it is on the older MacBooks. No, that's far too easy. Now they're riveted in. So if you want to change a keyboard on a Retina, you have to rip the keyboard out, remove all the rivets, and then replace them with screws. It's a bit of a nightmare. So if you ever get a Retina computer, be careful not to damage the keyboard. You know, the Retinas or the Airs are the same. Don't damage the keyboards. Be really careful of them because they're a real pain to change. DigiKey bag. Now, normally when I get stuff from DigiKey, it comes in a box. But I guess this time a bag was sufficient. I didn't order that much. It's pretty small. Of course, it's assuming it is from DigiKey because I mean, we didn't establish it was from DigiKey. That's why you had to put it down in the comments down below. With the wrong answer, of course. It's an LP8550. There's 25 of them there. Pretty small devices. Little BGA chips. I think there are, I can't remember how many pins are on these things now. There's a lot. But they're BGAs. I think there were 16, was it 25? These are the backlight drivers for this machine here. So I did try reballing one. I just couldn't get the thing to work. I tried for ages, and I don't reball chips very often, and I just kept on failing. So I gave up, bought some new ones instead. So one of these is going in that machine to hopefully fix the backlight. I'm not even 100% sure that's what's wrong with it. I know it was corroded around there, so I'm pretty sure the backlight driver was dead, but anyway, there's a video on that. At least it will be when I finished it. Now we've got the final box. Is this going to be Defpom approved? I really hope it is. It's got a foul tag on it. Don't remember seeing that in the picture. No, oh, maybe it was. Anyway, it's got padding around the sides. Got on the ends. Not much on the sides. It's bubble wrapped all around. Might be Defpom approved. Yeah. On the bottom as well. Bottom's important. Yeah, I think it's a Defpom approved. So we didn't protect the front as well as I would have liked. It's got the power supply and stuff in there. What is it? Well, this is what it is. It's a Sencore LC102 capacitance tester. Now, I did show recently in the Mailbag a LC77, which is almost identical. There are some differences on the inside as what have you. It's not exactly the same, but it's almost the same. And I saw this one come up afterwards. I thought, oh, that'd be nice. 102 is a bit more like what I actually want to get. It's got the pull-out thing on it as well. I'll tuck that back in. It's nice. Front panel looks good. Domes are functional. Right, the domes feel good. I just did that just now. Rear panel. There's no attachments, no accessories. No battery, but that's fine. I don't need a battery anyway, it's going to be bench use anyway. And it has a fail test tag. Mobile service operation by Cypress, apparently. Lead 0 defect. And it's got some stuff crossed out, but not very well. Just trying to read what that bit there says. Can we see what it says in lighting? See that? What does that say which has been crossed out? LNOP? Or Z no op? I don't know. Here's a tester, apparently. Anyway, that's fine. 2000? This thing failed 25 years ago? So does that mean this thing hasn't been used in 25 years? The thing over here is power supply. Now these take a special plug. So mini IEC has got a special name for it, but anyway it's called a mini IEC. So it plugs in the back there, it provides a low voltage. This looks like that's an original power adapter. Now this is basic 17 volts DC 1 amp, so it's an original power adapter for it, but as it's only 17 volts 1 amp output, you could generate something from somewhere of a source. And so this is 120 volts. I'm a 240 volt country, so this is just a transformer in here by the feel of it. I doubt that's changeable, so I'll probably have to do something with this, but that's alright, not a big deal. Should we power it up and see if it works at all? I think we should. Or should we open it first? We'll open it first, then we'll see what's going on, in case maybe when it got taken out of service 20 years ago, 25 years ago, quarter of a century. Maybe then they took parts out of it or something, who knows. We're going to open it up first and have a look. I think this is a case of due diligence before we power it, in case there's something horrible going on inside. So, hopefully it's all intact. As long as it's intact, that's great. Now those relays I showed before, these relays, these are for these. This is actually what they're for. They're used inside these Z meters. It's used inside the 77, which I showed before, and the 102. Might even be inside the 103 as well, I'm not sure. So that's why I got those relays, in case I needed them, because it could be that this relay is what I need to fix this thing if it's got a zeroing problem. Possibly. Right. Take this out. We have a cable ties falling out. That's probably nothing. This thing looks mint. It is absolutely spotless. Wow. Okay. There you go. So this is the switch mode supply, which generates the high voltages for capacitance testing for doing leakage tests. So this generates like 1000 volts and things like that for doing leakage tests on it. And it is absolutely spotless. It looks nice. Wow. And unfortunately there's no test cable supplied, but that's okay. We'll check this side out. And this side is also looking spotless. And see, these relays look familiar. 648D05/1AS. There's those three there. There's another one there, another one there. Now we've got two AKs as well. The AKs are the ones I want to get, but the price on those is horrendous for the shipping, as I was saying before. So bodge wires are normal on Sencores. Some are worse than others, depending on which generation they are. So it's quite normal to see bodge wires. They almost always have them, I believe, but they've refined designs and fixed things. This relay here can also give trouble. On the 77 I did, I cleaned that relay. That could also give trouble for zeroing. So it could be one of these little relays, the reader relays, or it could be this. But visually it all looks good. Let's power it up. So the first thing I'll do is check the power supply out. Now I've plugged it in, I've preset this to 115 volts. We'll check the voltages on the plug here with the multimeter just to make sure what we're getting is looking right in case this plug package has got a fault. I don't want to then shove potentially a bad voltage into the unit, because it may have been sitting around for 25 years. Who knows what's gone on? Internal capacitors could be completely gone. Just don't know. So we'll turn it on. Current's 1.9 watts. That sounds reasonable. Let's shove these probes into these connections here. 20 volts DC, a bit higher, but it's probably fine because it does get regulated down. Let's check for any AC voltage. And we're getting a little bit there, 25 millivolts. So there's a little bit of ripple, but it's not much. It's pretty much inconsequential, 25 millivolts. When it's under load, it'll be different. It'll probably be greater than that. But this has got internal regulation anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Right, let's plug this thing in. See what happens to the current. Goes up to 2 watts. Let's turn it on, see what happens. Six watts. It's powered up. It's booted. So that's a good start. That's a very good start. Now let's turn it off. I also want to watch the screen as it boots up again. Okay. Looks fine. Now the firmware on this was 169G266-17, which I think is really common actually. I don't think that's particularly late or anything. Let's get the cable on this thing and we'll try and zero it and see what happens. So this is the cable that came on my LC77, which I don't think is original. I think this is one that someone has made and made it appear like it's original. I think this is potentially sold by a guy on eBay. Probes are open. Let's do an open on it. That worked. Okay, let's do a short. I'd love it if there's nothing wrong with this. Short. Error 4. Okay. Do a short again. Error 4. Now I believe that's probably that relay. Okay, that's enough for Mailbag. This is going to be a video. Watch out for the video on this in the future. I would have just done one on the LC77 as well, which is very similar, so make sure you watch that video if you're interested in repairs. That's got a bit of work done on it. This thing here is potentially going to be a good one too. We'll see how we go. It's beautiful. I'm actually thrilled by how clean that is inside. That looks so good in there. Other links to watch down below there, including repairs, which eventually you'll see a video on this. Subscribe link just there, and over there's a Patreon support link. And the Patreon support link is important because that helps me to buy things like this to do videos about. This thing wasn't cheap. The price on these kinds of bits of equipment, which are quite sought after, is just going through the roof. I think they're probably the same price now as they were when they're brand new, if not more. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Obviously this is a faulty unit, but as you know, I like to buy faulty equipment so I can fix them and do videos about them. If I buy a piece of gear which is working, it's kind of pointless. Anyway, catch you later.